Alright guys, so here's another matchup for you guys to talk about, and this time it's gonna be Avatar and Voltron. And yeah, as you can see, Ozai's Angels, as they're called, or as we better know them as Azula, May, and Ty Lee, versus Lotor's Generals, Aksha, Zethrid, and Ezor. So, yeah, you guys can probably expect, this fight's probably been talked about a few times, but let's actually have some fun with it. Let's actually, have a discussion on this channel about it. So, let's talk about, the Ozai Angels, as the fans have, once called them. Azula, May, and Ty Lee. What more can I say about those three that hasn't already been said already? Three of the most dangerous women on the planet. In fact, in one of the comics, Azula stated that May is the most dangerous woman on the planet. The other thing is that Ty Lee kind of further confirmed this because apparently, and I didn't read this comic, but apparently what had happened was that Ty Lee said the reason why she stunned Azula was not because she was afraid she was going to kill May, it was because she didn't want May to, be guilted, have Azula's blood on her hands. She didn't want to have May feel bad about having Azula's blood on her hands. So basically, she knew May was going to win that fight, but they also knew that, if May killed Azula in that fight, then the royal family would just rain down on them like the Holy Father, and it wouldn't do well for May's conscience. Because, yeah, she's never really killed anyone, but she can. That's the thing. So, of course we have May, the excellent knife wielder, a female Bullseye with, with the personality of Raven from Teen Titans. Ty Lee, excellent acrobatic. She has excellent acrobatic and, maneuverable skills, as well as, of course, her chi blocking. And, what more can I say about Azula? Devious, excellent firebender, and capable of shooting lightning. There's not really a lot you can say about them, and when the three of them are together, good luck trying to fight them. Good luck trying to, stop the three of them together. Azula usually coming up with the plans, May and Ty Lee backing Azula in their coordinated attacks. It's like watching a trio of velociraptors who can talk and shoot fire come at you. It's, it was a nightmare for Team Avatar to fight all of them. In fact, the times they did fight the three of them, or just two of them, it usually came out as, luck that they won. Remember, Sokka and Katara almost got beat by May and Ty Lee had it not been for Appa coming in at the last second to save them. And remember, May can hold her own, Azula, I kept saying May, Azula held her own against Zuko and Aang, and even kind of put up a fight when all the rest of Team Avatar showed up. So yeah, that's a big thing you have to look at right there. All three of these girls are dangerous, they're lethal, they're people you just don't want to fuck with. So, yeah. But the same can be said for Lotor's Generals. Now, for reference, I'm going to be using this at a time period before Aksha left the other, Zethrid and Ezor, and, went off to do her own thing. So this is the three of them back when they were a team, and Narti's head was separated from her body. So, let's talk a bit about Lotor's Generals. Now, of course, Aksha was the leader of the group, excellent hand-to-hand fighter, as well as, sharpshooter, very intelligent. Usually, out of all of them, she was Lotor's right-hand woman. She was the one who usually, carried out a lot of the orders, a lot of the plans, and was usually thinking 12 steps ahead of everyone else in these, whenever they did these drops into a hostile environment. Aksha carries a vast amount of weapons, knives, guns, blasters, and her own fists are pretty dangerous in their own right. So yeah, Aksha is a force to be reckoned with. Same with Ezor and Zethrid. Now, Ezor, of course, is alien Ty Lee with a cloaking ability. That's basically what she is that Ezor is just Ty Lee, is just Reptile and Ezor is just if Ty Lee fucked Reptile from Mortal Kombat. Let's get that out of the way right now. She's basically if Ty Lee fucked Reptile. And now, none of you can unsee that image in your head. Not one of you hearing this video right now will ever be able to unsee the sight of Reptile fucking Ty Lee. I'm pretty sure that's also going to be a fanfiction at some point, if it isn't already. But anyway, I digress. So aside from the cloaking abilities and a few other things, she basically has the same skill set as Ty Lee, but also uses her head tail as a whip. She's also capable of carrying blasters and knives, as much like Aksha. And then we finally have Zethrid, the just strong arm of the group, capable of picking up whole vehicles in just her bare hands. And of course, she's incredibly durable. Doesn't really fight with weapons. Usually just fights with her bare hands. She loves a good fight and loves just crushing her opponents in her bare hands. So that's another thing you have to look at with this character, is that Zethrid is just a brawler. She's also has a high tolerance for pain. So what would it be like if, this 3-on-3 matchup went all out? So you can probably guess the matchups. Azula and Aksha would probably go head-to-head along with Ezor and Ty Lee. And then we have Mei and Zethrid. Now, you may be thinking, oh, Mei's gonna fucking die. Not necessarily. Mei is really quick. Like, ninja fast. So, yeah. She could easily, bob and weave out of Zethrid's hold and just keep throwing knife after knife in between her armor. Which you may be thinking, but DPZ, it's basically like if a caveman fought an alien. There's no way the caveman has any weapons that can fight, the caveman has to fight an alien. True, Lotor's generals do have the better armament and, enhanced skills, but we're talking about a person who can shoot fire and lightning out of their hands, a woman who can throw daggers at pinpoint precision, and another one who can just shut down your movement of your body with just a few taps. We're looking at the SEAL Team 6 of the Fire Nation. But yeah, so there, and let's not forget that armor that especially Ezor and Zethrid use, their armor isn't really protecting their joints or their extremities, usually, and not even their heads. So if Mei goes for the head with a single knife to the face, that's the end of Zethrid. But on the other end, if Zethrid gets a hold of Mei, there's a good chance she's going to be split in two. You also have Ezor, who could easily just cloak and get behind Ty Lee and get her for a killing blow. Aksha is gonna have to get into a firefight. But however, firefight, I just realized I made my own pun. But the major thing you have to look at is that Aksha is gonna have to reload her weaponry. Azula doesn't need to reload her firebending. And the other thing is, Azula is excellent at getting at people's heads. That's another thing, is that the Ozai Angels are excellent at getting in someone's head. Ty Lee could easily mock Ezor for being like, oh, you're some kind of lizard freak and you're just a copycat of me. Mei can just fire up Zethrid to the point where she's just smashing shit like a mindless animal, and Azula could just do all kinds of mental damage to Aksha. It's not even funny. So you really have to take into those accounts. But on the other end, Lotor's generals, when they were working together, were also a pretty functional team. So, whereas they were all kind of really coordinated, whereas Azula and Mei and Ty Lee were essentially do as Azula says, and she'll come up with all the plans, don't try to question her. So, yeah. In terms of team, Aksha, Zethrid, and Ezor definitely have an edge in terms of teamwork over them. And remember, they do have the superior tech and inherent abilities. So this is a really tough one, guys. This is a very tough 3-on-3 matchup. I really don't know who could come out on top, because it's anyone's game. So you guys tell me in the comments below, who do you think would win in this matchup between Ozai's Angels or Lotor's Generals? If you think Mei, Ty Lee, and Azula would win, put hashtag Ozai's Angels win and list off the reasons why you think they would come out on top. Or if you think Aksha, Zethrid, and Ezor would be the winners of this matchup, put hashtag Lotor's Generals win and list off the reasons why you think those three would come out on top in this matchup. This is a fight I know some people have probably talked about in the past, but this was one I was just like, God, I've always wanted to talk about this fight and talk about it with you guys, and I'm really excited to see what you guys have to say about this matchup in particular. So once again, hope you all enjoyed this. Comment below, let me know what you guys think, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.